All right, we're in. We're live, a little late. That's fine. Busy night. Adam Hill of Las Vegas Review Journal. Actually, it works perfectly, too, because in the time it took for us to get on air, Adam, the internet did its thing, and now I can pull up Pete DeBoer's clip of him screaming at you guys. So that's beautiful.
Oh, the passive aggressiveness of Coach DeBoer. It was great.
Seemed pretty aggressive.
Well, it was, but I think you consider it passive aggressive if you're indirectly yelling at somebody else, right?
Oh, okay. Well, then are we talking about his message to the potential front office people? Is that what we're discussing here?
Yeah, that was. First of all, I went back and listened because, like, in the moment, I'm transcribing like madman, so I don't really get context all the time of what's going on in the press conference. So I have to listen back to it to really get everything. And listening back, like, it wasn't even negative. Like, the questions weren't negative. The first two questions were basically like, how proud are you that you guys played so well despite being shorthanded?
Right.
And then the third question was like, hey, you guys had believe the third question was about a poor line change. I can't remember his third or the fourth. But he was just like, if you're going to be negative, that's on you. Like, we're not going to be negative tonight. And then it was one more question that was kind of negative, and then that was it.
All right, so let's set the whole scene. So Colorado gets the win 2-1 over the Vegas Golden Knights. Knights now no longer in control of their own destiny in terms of the division, correct? 2 games left for the Avalanche, 1 game left for VGK. They need them to drop a point somewhere. Get that right?
Correct. If the Avalanche win their final 2 games, they are the champions of the West Division and get home ice advantage in the second round, which would potentially be where they would play each other.
Okay. So let's get to a couple of things here. First off, you media types. How does it feel that Pete DeBoer gave you a taste of your own medicine, huh?
He didn't.
He did. He went right at you guys. You guys asked those questions all day, every day. Blessing was trying to get under his skin on purpose.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing, huh? You feel it?
It's good.
You finally feel the heat getting pressed back on you?
First of all, there hasn't been a whole lot of negative things to even ask about. They've been really good since Pete DeBoer took over. We haven't been in person with him either, really, so that's kind of been different. It's all over Zoom. But, having covered Pete DeBoer in the past,
typical.
He has earned the nickname of Prickly Pete. Like, that was his nickname back in San Jose. Mostly because a couple of the guys that cover San Jose are big Seinfeld fans, and Prickly Pete is a Seinfeld reference. But they would call him Prickly Pete because he does get like this. But this 100%, and I see you in here, AJ, you're a moron if you think this is true.
The media defending the media.
Pete DeBoer is frustrated at the front office. He came in here to take shots at the front office. That's what he was doing. He wasn't mad at the media. The media wasn't even negative tonight. It was insane how positive the questions were after losing. And again, there's reasons why they lost. They played shorthanded tonight, but how positive the media was after losing the biggest game of the season.
Okay, so first off, let's hear the clip. This is Pete DeBoer afterwards, of course. Brian Blessing. I think the phrase is just desserts here. Brian totally deserves it.
Next question goes to Brian Blessing, the Vegas Hockey Hotline.
Yeah, Brian. Indeed, the little things do make a difference, though. On Comper's goal, it seemed like maybe got caught on a line change and we're chasing the play there a little bit.
Next question.
Pete, thank you for the time tonight.
So the real issue came on the question before this. Here's where I'm gonna actually defend Pete DeBoer in this, because first of all, who cares? Like, it doesn't. He answered 2 questions. We got the quotes that we needed. We're fine. Who cares what he does? He can be mad all he wants to. Like, that's totally his right, and he was totally fine for it. But he what is he going to say to that? So the answer to that question is, yeah, we got caught on 2 really bad line changes because we were goddamn shorthanded because of our front office.
Right.
Like, is that what it, like, why would he wouldn't, he's not going to say that. So he did what he had to do. Instead of making that answer, he said, He was like, "Yeah, next question. I'm not going to answer this question because what's the positive of answering the question and taking a shot at your front office? There isn't one." So yeah, he made this comment, and by the way, that answer I don't want him taken completely out of context. Next question from Pete DeBoer there came right after a quote, and I'll read it here. The third question that was asked was, do you feel like your team being shorthanded, you just hit a wall at some point because you didn't get any shots over the last 10 minutes? Like, was your team exhausted from playing shorthanded? And he said, I don't know. If you want to talk about negatives, go ahead. I don't have any for you. So that was the third question. And the fourth question was about the line change that got caught up on. Yeah, it's completely fair to be frustrated about the fact that you were playing shorthanded because the moves that your front office has made all year. And by the way, the front office did sometimes, yes, but that's not what happened right now.
AJ, send in to the chat 5 questions you would ask Pete DeBoer.
Right, after tonight's game. That don't have anything to do with being shorthanded.
Seriously, send in the 5 questions you would have asked Pete DeBoer.
The questions were totally fair. Like, again, the both goals essentially, and especially the last one, the game winner, were off of bad line changes. I think it's totally fair to say you're having bad line changes because you're shorthanded. That's a totally fair thing. And the question is fair to ask, was being shorthanded, did that lead to the bad line changes? I mean, the answer is yes, of course. But is he going to take shots at the front office? Like, no. So he takes it out on the media, which is totally fine.
So really quickly, because the media thing is stupid, I have a bunch of tweets to read you, but we'll save those. For somebody who's not as nuanced in the world of hockey, explain to me the 15 skaters, the roster really quickly, Kelly McCrimmon's dealings and all of this, and why Pete DeBoer is unhappy. And for anybody who would really know. So
the phrase that they used tonight, which they've been kind of using all year, is salary cap gymnastics. Mm-hmm. That's a phrase that Kelly McCrimmon used. And they've basically just been walking this fine line all season long, sending guys up, dropping guys down. They've played one man short a couple of times. Like, they've just been massaging the cap all year. And they've basically been playing with fire is the problem. Now, when you get into the last 10 games, you lose one of the tools that you would have ordinarily, which is putting guys on long-term IR, because in the last 10 games, you can't do that. So now that you've got a couple of guys that have been hurt the last couple of games, you're in a position where you really can't make a whole lot of moves. And like, it would take like 5 shows and like 30 experts to really break down exactly the position that they were in. But essentially, they just couldn't make any moves. They couldn't bring any guys up to play because of the way that the cap has been orchestrated and the way that they had been hurt in the last couple of games. They just got Peyton Krebs hurt in the last game, and he couldn't be moved. So they were just in a bind. Like, they could not make any moves. They couldn't bring any more guys up that were healthy. And they've got all these hurt guys now. Like, as you look over and see all the injured guys that are there, like, oh man, if 2 of those guys could have played, or at least one of them could have played, he could have been in a different position. But they've been kind of walking this line all year long, and now they got burned for it today. And I understand the frustration of Pete DeBoer, but I also look at it and say, hey, they did what they had to do all year long to make this team as good as it was all year. And as as Kelly McCrimmon talked about before the game, because he did speak to the press tonight, like, they knew this was going to be an issue. And so Kelly McCrimmon had a press conference right before the game. And he just said, listen, he was kind of talking around it, but essentially what he said is, hey, we were playing with fire, and right now we're in a bad spot. And was it worth it? Yeah. To Kelly McCrimmon's point, they fielded a really competitive team and a really strong lineup all year long, and they didn't expect to come down to this situation. If Peyton Krebs doesn't get hurt last game, if Noshik's not hurt with 9 games left, if Ryan Reeves is on LTIR, like, they can make some moves here, and they could have had guys, but they just caught a couple of unfortunate breaks. By the way, I keep seeing this, the Reeves injury being fishy. Like, somebody asked me this the other day, and I sent him a clip of the injury happening. Like, it's pretty obvious where he got hurt and how he got hurt. Were they playing games with like the LTIR? Maybe he didn't have to go out for that long, but he definitely suffered an injury. There's no question about that. You can watch it happen. But yeah, it was. They knew the situation they were going to be in. Just like Mike Mayock coming out after the draft pick and starting his press conference with, "We knew this pick was going to be controversial." Kelly McCrimmon knew that, coming into this game, only having 15 skaters was going to be something that was brought up and talked about. And so he came out and did a press conference right before the game, which he never does. But he knew he was going to have to answer questions about that, and he knew that they were in a bad spot, and that's why he did it. It just so happened this was the most important game of the year, and that's the situation that they put themselves in.
No.
And clearly, listen, Pete DeBoer was frustrated with that and angry about it, as he should be. But you also would say, well, would you have rather had a less competitive lineup at some point early in the season if you hadn't been massaging the cap as much as you did? And by the way, you have massaged it to the point where now you have this unbelievably loaded roster going into the playoffs where there's no cap to worry about. You don't have to send guys up and down, and they'll be fine, and they should be healthy. And I think that they're excited to get there, but they obviously would have wanted to win tonight, get the President's Cup, get home ice throughout the entire playoffs, and move from there. But it didn't work out that way.
I'm going to read you a couple things. First off, Raj at Golden Knights, major props to Coach DeBoer. The media focuses so much on negativity that they just can't see the positives.
Jesus
Boys
Christ.
played a great game. The entire team deserves nothing but compliments from the true fans.
Do you have I would say we should play the whole press conference in like 3.5 minutes. I was recorded.
I was looking for it. I was trying to. That's what I was waiting for too. The only clip I could find is him of walking off from Blessing. How about this? Coach DeBoer was really proud of his team tonight, as he should be. Didn't want to talk negatives when media tried to ask questions.
Again, the questions, the first two questions of the press conference were essentially,
AJ, you failed your assignment. I asked you to send in 5 questions that you would ask DeBoer tonight. We got nothing yet. Press conference is already over at this point.
Again, the first two questions were overwhelmingly positive. And again, I'm not suggesting that he should have been bashed or anything like that. I'm just saying the questions were positive. His frustration was not at the media. Period.
Joey Judd says, "Ooh, Pete DeBoer is giving it to the media right now. I love it."
It's just so funny. It's so funny. I mean, again, I believe the first two questions. Again, if you don't have them, but I think both questions were like, how proud are you of just this team playing so hard and so well despite being shorthanded? That's negative. That's the negativity that people are frustrated with.
AJ's first question is in it. I don't think Pete would make any sense of this.
No, the question was. I think the question was.
I know. I'm being sarcastic. AJ is completely ignoring the request because he can't think of any questions to ask, but he continues to destroy the media.
No, the line changes again. There's reasons for the line changes, and the answer will be, hey, they're shorthanded, they're tired. There's reasons that the line changes went poorly at times and led to 2 goals, of course. But is somebody suggesting that's not a fair question to ask? If bad line changes led to 2 goals?
One of my favorite responses was, "It wasn't even a question." To which somebody responded, "Yeah, because he got cut off and he left." Oh, it's so good.
It was preposterous. Just preposterous. But
I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was good.
No, it was. I mean,
and he deserves, to your point, from what I understand, DeBoer totally deserves to get frustrated with everything going on.
Of course.
But you have to understand everything that's happening. And by the way, he's not like Blessing. AJ was the one who told me today, and I know I'm getting on you, AJ. I always appreciate you tuning in, just busting your balls. But AJ was like, well, Blessing asked it to get under his skin. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. That's
Blessing sat back. So he's like, yes.
Now, if Blessing,
my turn. I'm going to ask this question.
The question was completely and totally fair, and obviously, also a question that had to be asked. And I'll say that Brian soft pedaled it a little bit, which he didn't necessarily have to do, but I understand. I do that with negative questions sometimes too, where you're like, hey, you have to ask this question, but you're not just going to attack them. And that's a debate to be had. But if some, I saw people blaming the decision on if you start a Fleury, you win the game. Get out of here. The goalie was not the issue. Now Grubauer played really well, but also the Knights didn't put a whole lot of great chances out there because I think they had tired legs. No shots in the last 10 minutes. They couldn't get anything going. It is, yeah. The whole. I mean, I'm trying to read comments here too, but it's like some of the things that people think or focus on is just so silly.
My wife is sleeping,
like,
John.
oh.
That's why I'm holding back. I'm holding back the evil laughter because I don't want to wake up the wife and child. Uh-oh.
That's good. I'm hoping some more media members walk by so I can grill them on live on the show here of why they're so negative.
It was so good.
It's ridiculous. Like I do want to know, because as you pointed out to AJ, but I'd love other people. Like what questions would you have asked after the team lost their biggest game of the year?
How about you just ask Pete if he's okay, Adam? How about that?
How you doing, buddy?
How you holding up?
Appropriate?
How you holding up, Pete?
Is that an appropriate question? I mean, what are we looking for? I can't even begin to figure out what people wanted. And again, you threw it out there and said, what questions would you want asked? And we got nothing back. You said 5, he had 0. And I know his response was, well, I'm not in the media.
It's not my job.
If it's that, yes. So what types of questions? Not even a specific. What type of question would you have liked to see asked? That's not negative. Again, after their biggest loss of the year. And if you watched the last press conference, by the way, there was questions about playing shorthanded, and his answer was, not my decision. So, I mean, there was a pretty clear case to be made that he was already showing frustration with what was going on out there, and then to have to play 3 men short today was obviously a whole different level. Yeah, I'm here. Let's talk. The Bell promotion, the mental health awareness. That would have been a good question too, I guess. I don't know. I guess Pete, after a loss like this, what are you gonna have for dinner?
Do you like to go home?
Is that a question?
Crack open a can of SpaghettiOs and just chill.
What about the spaghetti table? Did you see that today?
No. What is this? I'll look this up now.
But the nacho table?
Now I'm even looking this up now. What is a nacho table?
Okay, we did nacho table on this show 100 times. Just type in spaghetti hack to Twitter.
Okay, let's see.
It was everyone was posting about it today.
The nacho table.
Nacho table it's been a while, but the spaghetti one is something that just came out today.
Okay, all right.
You do spaghetti hack, which I never knew that mixing noodles with the sauce and the meatballs was that much of an issue. Okay. That we had to do it on a table.
Well, I've seen a lot of this now. I saw one. I think the more popular one was hey, look at this hack when it comes to saving your bread, and the girl cuts the bag in half and then ties it like a normal tie. Why don't you just twist it and put it underneath like a normal human being?
Right.
Just all this stuff.
These are good. These are fair. What are you going to watch on TV when you get home, Pete? That would have been a question. That would have been good.
Days like this, Mondays. Am I right, Pete?
Pete, you got a case of the Mondays? I'm legitimately interested in what people would have wanted. Okay, this is the spaghetti table.
Okay, so we're pouring we're Prego traditional marinara.
Which, I mean, I think the real issues here aren't necessarily even the table. It's basic sauce, and then the meatballs are a disaster. Even I'm not about presentation or I'm not about being fancy with the cooking at all. But these meatballs.
Oh, those are pre-cooked meat. Yeah, those are packaged meatballs.
What are we doing? I never knew that spaghetti was such a difficult thing to. It's literally the one thing I can cook.
Right. What the fuck is happening? So is this
I've never had an issue.
What's the point of this? Is it a present? It's a presentation thing?
Well, it's I think it's supposed to make it
what are we hacking?
At the end, she kind of she pours the noodles on the top, and then she kind of scoops everything together. I think it's to spread everything evenly.
Ryan McKinnell would have a heart attack watching this. It's pre-cooked meatballs, pre-shredded Parmesan cheese in a plastic bottle. That was a tub of Prego sauce.
The noodles don't look good either.
They don't. They look awful.
I mean, maybe that was the point of this. Just be like, look how basic and awful these ingredients
Well,
are.
this now reminds me. Did you see the video of the? I think this was done in jest, but like the party mix done in the toilet bowl.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
Ugh,
Awful.
that was the proportions are throwing me off here. Like, there's way too much cheese.
Like, who's she cooking for?
Right.
But now, see,
This is terrible. There's so much sauce being left on the table. This is such a terrible idea, dude.
It's not good.
What the? This is a troll, right? Like, she's trolling.
I mean,
right?
dude, it might be. Look at the views. It was it's 1.5 million.
That's like, what do you? That's ridiculous. Like, look at this. You're leaving so much sauce on the table right here.
Yeah, Eddie's saying it's supposed to be like for if you're having like a party and you need to make a ton of pasta. But I feel like there's even better ways to do that.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Like, what is this?
That's yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's not ideal.
No, not at all. I'm gonna find this toilet bowl now.
Oh, then in the nacho table was the.
Oh, let me look up the nacho table.
I mean, that's the one that I think started it all. Like, we were all excited about that one because it's just a way to make a ton of nachos at the same time. But that one is better. Like, that's a far better thing because at least a nacho table you can just keep it out on the table, right? Like a spaghetti one, you still have to put it in smaller, like, plates and bowls and other ways to disperse it. A nacho table you can just leave it out as like a whole table full of nachos and people can come by and take whatever they want.
Okay. Okay, I think I found something here. Let's do this. Let's share this. Yeah, that's a nightmare. And I think like people are what they're doing now is I think they're doing stuff like that to garner reaction, but they're not actually doing this as like a hack.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, take this lady, for example. There's no way what we're about to watch here is something legitimately done at parties. There's no way.
Is that ice cubes that are poured out?
So we got ice cubes. Look at all this stuff. This looks like a legitimately good mix, but just not in a toilet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
why
so we got ice
do you
cubes.
have to? You
Sherbet.
definitely don't have to mix it in the toilet.
Yeah, I mean, Adam, what are you talking about? There's no bowls that are big enough to hold all of this.
Wait, what are we doing?
You've seen this, haven't you?
This is not this one. I've seen.
Oh, brother.
This is preposterous. So wait, this is a toilet that's not connected, right?
No.
I don't see any water.
No, there's no water. Just watch. This
Okay.
gets better. So you put some sour stuff in the back. By the way, what you're totally missing too, because I'm not playing the audio, is this dude. If this is real, the guy filming is totally like white knighting, hoping he's going to like get on her good side. The whole time is like, wow, yeah, okay, yeah, wow, that looks really great. Okay, yeah. Like, at no point does he go, like, look at him, he's all into it. He's, oh, wow, and then you're going to flush it, and then it's going to go in there?
By the way, the lady that was filming the spaghetti table, same thing.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like, what? So I don't know what's happening anymore.
Oh, it's about to get better.
How can it possibly get better?
You don't know how it's going to get better? It's about to get better too. Look, she's going to eat one. Look at, she's like, oh yeah, yep, yeah, it's good.
Oh my god!
Mix it up a little bit. He's like, I got my cup. I'm ready.
No, not yet.
Not yet, buddy. First, I got to mix it a little bit with my hands. Okay, now that we're ready. Oh, everybody's excited. Everybody's excited.
No, they can't wait.
Let's get it started. Ready for this, Adam? Flush it. Boom. Then you flush it, and all of it gets mixed together. Look at that, huh? There you go. I don't know why he couldn't just dump the liquid in.
Yeah. What's the difference? Just pour it in there. Also, just do this in like a,
I don't know.
in like a orange, one of those like orange coolers at like a baseball game.
Of course.
Why
But
would
white people don't do that?
No, we definitely did. We definitely mixed some like alcohol punch type things in like hotel bathrooms or bathtubs
Yes.
at like high school parties and stuff before we knew any better. But yeah, that's just weird. I don't need that.
The worst, Brett. That's pretty good.
That's true. Or the best. I don't know.
So you were busy. Did you see your boy?
I saw the clown emojis that who was it, Beal sending him at Bazemore?
Yes. So for those who don't know, Steph Curry and Bradley Beal are in the midst of a titanic struggle for the scoring title in the NBA with these last few games left on the board. A big blow for Bradley Beal's campaign, though, as he was dealing with a hamstring issue. He's going to miss 2 games. So Steph Curry tonight drops 36 points, 11 to 25, has a key 3 late that ultimately gives the Warriors a 119-116 lead and win, or excuse me, I should say win, not lead. After the game, Kent Bazemore says on the post-game press conference, let's see, 49 points, 29 minutes. That's unreal. We got guys hurting hamstrings to keep up. As Monte points out, Curry leads NBA in scoring at 31.9 points per game. Beal second at 31.4. And then Bradley Beal started going nuts.
Well, I mean, is he denying that he's doing it? Because he is.
Who's that?
Like Beal, I believe, did get hurt trying to keep up.
Oh, here, I'm going to read you his response because I actually kind of agree with Bradley Beal for the most part. Like in terms, did he delete his tweets?
Well, because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, and you watch the NBA much closely than I do, but didn't Curry go for like 49 the other day and then Beal went for 50 right after it?
Right.
Like he's clearly trying to do, like he clearly did that on purpose and then he got hurt.
So, and this was from this was from earlier today. At 24 Bazemore, you don't know me or shit about me, bruh. You don't know why I go out there and play, and it's damn sure ain't for another man's approval. You're lame, but it don't surprise me coming from you. That's what your type do. It's funny you say that because your man's admittedly checked my numbers before the game, but I'm chasing. Shut your ass up.
No, stop denying that you're doing it though. Like I don't have a problem with like, hey, he goes 49, I have to go 50 to try to keep up, but like, don't deny it.
I think Beal's got a point though. If Curry's checking the scores beforehand, if he needs to know what Beal's doing,
hold on, Justin,
act like you've been there.
Come here real quick. Can you explain? Yeah, can you explain why you're being so negative?
Why I'm being so negative?
Yeah,
I was the one asking the positive question.
Everybody did.
I know. What did I say? I said like, yeah, no moral victories. But how you feeling tonight, man?
Yeah, you guys played really well despite being shorthanded. That's a negative question. Yeah. That's all we needed. People are getting on the media for being very.
People are very upset at us on Twitter.
They really are.
Whatever.
They're mad online. Thanks, sir.
You bet.
See, straight from the source. One of the questions was asked by him, and it wasn't negative.
Who was that?
Oh, sorry. That was Justin Emerson from The Sun.
No, there you go. Got to introduce people. We're not all connected media folks like you. You elitists, you think we just know all of you when really don't.
That's true. You're right. I should have done that. That's my fault.
Ridiculous. I think I'm in Team Bradley Beal. Steph Curry was not efficient tonight.
Well, they both. That's fine. But as they're saying there, they're both paying attention. And that's fine. What?
I forgot to point this. This pointed out on social media to us that Kent Bazemore said he's not too worried today about the Bradley Beal dust-up. Said he's going to go home, love up his wife, watch Peaky Blinders, and go to bed.
Okay. First of all, I think a new episode of All American came out today, so you can do a little bit better on television.
What is this?
What is what?
What is All American?
It's the only scripted show I watch on television. Only new scripted show. I mean, I watch old show, Office and Seinfeld, obviously. All American is tremendous, John. It's about a kid from Compton who's the best player on the team, and the coach from Beverly Hills basically is like, bro, like you got to get out of here. Come play with us. Come live in a nice part of town. Stay with me, play on our team. And then all the kids in his new community are like, who the hell are you? Like, get out of here. Like, you're coming in here to like be our star, like our savior. And then at his old neighborhood, they're like, traitor, sellout, get out of here. So he has like no nowhere to fit in, and then he kind of fits into both again, like finds his place in both neighborhoods, but he's still going back and forth.
Okay.
It's tremendous.
It's a CW drama.
It is. It's so
Okay.
good. I'm all in on it. It's great. And but the problem is, like, the first season I thought was really good and a lot of football oriented stuff. And then like the last couple seasons, like there's literally so much drama. You're like, this can't, like, come on. Like, so far, like 5 players have had like career-ending injuries. You're like, this is insanity. It can't happen all the time.
At some point, you got to check the turf, right? Like, at some
Right.
point-
It's crazy. Like, there's, I mean, drama between every single student, and then like, you know, a new coach. Oh, and it's very, they're getting very woke now too.
Oh, really?
It's, oh my god! And then there were
Can't-
like Spencer, he's the main character. He gets like very socially active, and then one of the colleges comes in like, that ain't gonna fly with us, son. Like, we need you to be a thug on this team. He's like, what?
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but I love it.
Statement that was pretty harsh, and I think they had to just, you know, it's, you know, with all the noise going out, you know, we live in a different world now.
Yeah, we do.
This America's different, and it was like a cancel culture kind of a thing. So they're reviewing
Cancel culture.
Yeah, Baffert. So his
That
like,
dweeb.
we've been pointing out the cancel culture comment from him.
That it just
if
doesn't
you-
make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But if you actually listen to it, he's not even trying to make sense. He's just throwing out every term he possibly can, hoping something sticks. He's
Everything
like,
the
you know,
Fox News media will like the.
Yeah.
What
He's
is
like-
it called? Foxitis. All the guys,
Yeah.
all the people suffering from Foxitis would love.
Like, that answer that you were just playing, he's like, I mean, you know, you got, you know, liberal media and the mainstream media and cancel culture. Like, he's not even making a point. He's just saying
Pizzagate.
He's saying, he's saying
QAnon.
buzzwords. Yeah, these woke people, like, he's just throwing buzzwords out, hoping something sticks. And everybody did jump onto the cancel culture thing, which you're like, wait, who you're canceled or the horse is canceled? And then, you know, Trump called the horse a junkie, which is just
That's so good.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
The horse just going out back, just shooting itself up.
It's so amazing to just refer to the horse as a junkie, as if, you know, Baffert was trying to save him. And
Do you know how heavily that dude would have to be pissing like pure cough syrup? Do you know how heavily concentrated his urine would have to be?
I mean, but why not throw it out? If you're going to throw cancel culture out there for you getting busted drugging a horse,
For like the 60th time in your career.
right? He's a repeat offender. It's like, you know, cancel culture. Like, dude, it's not cancel culture.
He's like,
You
man,
keep-
he's just
You
They
keep
just-
fucking up. Like, you've cheated over and over again, and you were just allowed to run a horse in the Kentucky Derby. How have you been canceled? Like, where's the cancel?
and the horse is still going on. The horse is still moving on to
Yeah.
the next race.
Yeah, you're canceled because you're a cheater. Like, the horse is still okay.
Be so dope. He's like, fuck yeah, I did. It's like, yeah, I shot that horse up. What are you gonna do? It's my 7th Kentucky Derby. I'm
I
rolling
actually
in the
would've-
dough.
If I was him, like, if you're gonna throw nonsense out there, why not go all the way and like go with the Trump theory and just be like, listen, we took this horse in. He did he would find drugs in the barn somewhere, and we were trying to save him. We were trying to get him clean. Like, we were giving him a place to come down.
Hey, where's Medina Spirit? She's like, she's in the fucking barn again.
She found those vials, damn it. I told you to get him out of here. There's just like burned foil on the ground.
So did I tell you I actually bet the horse to win?
The cheater?
Yeah.
The junkie?
So Isabel's mom's maiden name is Medina, and we were like
Oh, no.
5 minutes before the race. She's like, "That's throw 50 on it." I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it.
Wow. You should give that money back.
I'm down with the cheating.
That's ill-gotten gains, John.
No, I'll take it.
So ridiculous.
So dumb. You know, it made me laugh too because there's so many people who are like studying the track. They're watching these horses in pregame run, doing everything possible the days leading up. And I'm just like, that fucking Medina. I know somebody with that last name. Let's do it.
good enough. It worked. I mean, that's really horse handicapping at its finest, isn't it?
Nah, I don't want to insult anybody.
Oh,
It takes a lot of skill.
oh
No, I don't
sorry.
think. I don't mean anybody specific. I'm just saying. I don't want. It takes some skill.
No, but I mean, it's kind of like we talk about like the NCAA tournament.
It's just a
things
crapshoot.
like that, where you're like, the more you know, the less likely you are to win, like a bracket.
Paralysis by analysis. You mean?
Exactly. Yeah. That's the phrase I was looking for.
There you go. Got to check from. There you go. Truth. How much work did he put into it?
None.
You should donate the money you won to the National Drug. Hey, Steve's back.
The Horse Drug Abuse Foundation.
This is Steve's burner account. Remember?
It is. Yeah, I do remember
Steve.
that. It's true.
Steve's back in. Appreciate that, Steve.
Yeah, like getting drug addicted horses off the street. We should start that charity.
By the way, did you notice? Because I haven't talked to you for a while. That I found this pretty interesting around the Kentucky Derby. So Mattress Mac was back, but did you notice the different tact that the mainstream media took?
I tried to ignore all the stories about it, but he did it again, right? Didn't he say that people get free furniture if a certain horse won?
Correct. And do you know how hard I had to dig to find that story? It was not widely reported as last time. Now it's just Mattress Mac is a legend and firing away.
It's just I get so annoyed. But I'll tell you why. Like I will tell you why people keep writing those stories, because people keep reading them.
Yeah.
Like I see the numbers that when we do it, and I don't like it because it should be written as it is, but then people wouldn't be as interested. Like it should be reported as Mattress Mac bought an insurance policy against a promotion at his furniture store. That's how it should be written, and that's how it should be talked about. He's not betting on sports. He's buying insurance policies.
He's a legend, bro.
Right. And yes, he's a legend. But don't report on him as a gambler. He's not. I mean, maybe he does that on other things, but these big bets that he's making are not gambles. And he also, calls ahead and tries to get better numbers. I think we talked about that before too.
Right.
Where he's like, I'll get you publicity. I'll come and bet at your place. Just give me a better number on this. That's what he's been kind of doing. That's what he's been doing for a while. But if it was reported the way that it should be, in this case, for sure. Now, when people talk about media issues and things like that, I've said for a long time the lack of understanding of the betting markets among media people, and especially sports media people who should know better, is egregious. It's absolutely egregious and unacceptable. That's an area that has to be improved. And I'll say it's different here because we have two sports betting writers, and I think everybody on staff pretty much has an understanding. But you'll see games where a team is a 1-point favorite and the beat writer is like a stunning win. Like, no, dude, you need to understand what the markets tell you about the game that you're covering. Even if you don't completely understand markets and numbers and movement and all those other things, like you should at least have a general understanding that, and I saw one today. I saw one today where somebody didn't understand the numbers, like the market on where will Aaron Rodgers play next year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, Green Bay was like 4-6 or 4-5, and then Denver was like 27-20. One of those weird fractions, but it's actually they were the second favorite.
Yeah.
And then like the Raiders were 9-1 and the 49ers were like 10-1. And people were like, why are the 49ers and Raiders favored over the Broncos? Like they're not. But that's just a not understanding what the numbers mean. And now you're reporting inaccurate information because you just don't understand. And so I do think that is a problem. If you want to get on media for things, like that is one of the things to absolutely get on them for.
What do you think he ends up?
I mean, I foresee him not playing.
No, that would be dumb. That would be dumb on Green Bay's part.
It would be, but I don't know. I mean, if like Philly would make some sense. I know I saw Philly connected to Deshaun Watson too. Philly makes some sense because they're going to have a bunch of picks coming up. especially if Carson Wentz plays for the Colts regularly this year. Ben, stop being mean. If if Carson Wentz plays regularly, they get another first-round pick for that. Like, they could have a ton of first-round picks coming up the next couple of years. So maybe that's a team that could do it. 3 first-rounders for Rodgers to Philly. That's not where he wants to go, though.
Denver, baby.
If he wants to go because Yoko lives in Boulder and he wants to go there.
Yoko. Is that what's her face? Woodley?
Yeah, Shailene Woodley lives in Boulder.
What is she breaking up, though? What is she yokoing? Him and Devontae Adams?
The Packers and Aaron Rodgers.
Well, like, you really think that she's like the driving force behind this?
Oh, yeah.
Because Aaron Rodgers was just never this like prickly dude who would take shots at his own team in the media.
Well, how did the Broncos get on the list?
Was she from Denver?
No, she's from LA, but she lives in Boulder.
Oh, well, the Broncos are a damn good team.
So are the Browns. Like, I want to go to the Browns.
They have a quarterback.
So do the Broncos.
They don't. Stop.
That's why the Broncos are on the list. Why are the Raiders on the list?
Oh, God, I don't know. I really don't understand that one. Like, why the fuck would you want that? Like, sorry to the hometown team. I know I'm supposed to be positive.
No, but the Raiders, one of the things the Raiders do have is a quarterback. Like, why are they on the list?
Right. Well, that's why it doesn't make sense. The Raiders makes no sense whatsoever. Right.
Yoko wants to live in Vegas.
No, but I'm saying from a trade perspective, you would have to do a very rare 3-team trade. Because what are you going to do with Derek Carr? Carr's not going to Green Bay. He's not. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive with the timeline that Jordan Love has.
Yeah, the Packers wouldn't want to get a quarterback back out of this. They'd want draft picks out of this because if they do this, it's to make Jordan Love the starter.
Denver's got draft picks. You can get a starter out of it, and throw in Teddy Bridgewater. Let's go.
I mean,
I'm just trying to will my 66-1 Denver Broncos ticket into existence here.
You have that?
I bet it like a month and a half ago because I thought Watson was going to go.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm just hoping I get one of the two, Watson or Rodgers. Let's make it happen.
Well, if you have a ticket for this year, you want it to be Rodgers because I think Watson will be suspended for the year.
Oh, that's what I definitely want Rodgers now.
Yeah,
they actually might be good. I don't know if they'll be better than the Chiefs, but fuck it. Get on the opposite side of the bracket. Allow the Chiefs to get eliminated. Give me to the post. Give me the Super Bowl. Let's go.
The Texans. What are they doing?
No idea. Davis Mills, the guy who is allegedly going to go in the first round, but didn't go into the third round. He's going to be their savior.
Well, and he's a huge project. Well, no, Tyrod is the starter, but they've got, they have so many holes to fill, and they trade up and get Nico Collins. Like, what are you doing? You need more picks, not less, and you trade up to get Nico. Like, I love Nico Collins. I loved him in college, obviously, as a Michigan guy. And I think he can be a pretty good player at the NFL level. But why are you trading up and giving up picks to get him? You need extra picks. Makes 0 sense.
So people don't understand draft capital, my friend.
No, they don't. They don't.
It's incredible, too, because, some of those guys are in charge of actually drafting people and running a professional draft.
Of like multi-million dollar, hundreds of $1 million payroll you're in charge of, and you have no idea what you're doing. Time and time again.
Damn, I'm trying to find this. Nah, I can't find it. I should have had it saved. I thought I did.
What are you looking for?
It was my weekly Reddit post that I was going to show you.
You have a weekly post?
I think I'll start doing it. Every Smarter Than You podcast starting next week.
Best of Reddit?
Best of Reddit. God, Reddit's so good. Oh, well, actually, I did send you guys something. It's very controversial, I believe. I don't think I want to put it up on the screen.
Oh, boy.
The Kentucky Fried Chicken tweet?
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I couldn't really even figure it out.
There was like extremely... Like, that was pretty racist, was it not?
It seemed that way, but then I was like, maybe there's something else that I'm missing. Like, I didn't really understand it.
Just go check out the KFC Europe. I don't know what's up there, but there's a lot of people laughing at it, and I feel very uncomfortable looking at it. I don't want to put it on this screen.
Smart. What did you just put up something else a minute ago that I don't think we even talked about?
Keith Olbermann?
Yeah. There's enough
There's
podcasts.
There's enough podcasts.
It's
I wanted to sarcastically pull up Keith Olbermann's podcast.
There's so many, but then there's also not enough. Like I keep looking for new podcasts to listen to, just walking around, and like I'm like, oh my god, there's this and there's this, and like there's certain ones that I just love and don't miss. Like PFF does a daily one that's like 12 minutes. That's great.
Yep.
And then their full length one is really good too. I listen to those, and I listen to Office Ladies, which I've talked about, and then the Zach to the Future, which I've talked about.
They're still doing the Office Ladies podcast?
They're going to do every episode. They're not even halfway through the show.
Oh boy, because didn't they start doing one? Didn't Kevin Malone start doing one too?
Yeah, I think. Well, he has a different kind of podcast, I think.
No, but I think he started doing an Office one.
But maybe it's like Office show in general instead of episode by episode.
No,
Like,
I'm gonna look this up now.
They're very strict. Like it's like, hey, we're talking about this episode, and they go, episode by episode, and
Have they improved
the background?
Yeah, their banter wasn't great.
I think they're getting a little bit more comfortable doing it, but it doesn't help that they, not long after they started doing it, they had to go to remote, which, as you know, we're professionals, John, so we can do this, but it's much better face to face and be in the same room and know when people are trying to talk and play off each other and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it kept Brian Baumgartner and iHeartMedia partnered to bring the Office Deep Dive with Brian Baumgartner. It will feature full-length interviews with Steve Carell, John Krasinski, and more behind the scenes of the hit TV show, The Office.
See, that's different. Maybe I'll add that
guess,
one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll add that one to my list, though.
Is the show that good?
Office Ladies? Or The Office?
Nah, The Office. I mean, we got 6 different podcast spinoffs. I think we got enough.
It's an incredible show, John.
You got to do what I do in my free time.
What's that?
My old lady murder podcasts.
You listen to those?
Oh hell yeah, dude! Dude, there was one. I would pull this lady's name up. She was from Canada, and she was consistently getting harassed at night. Like she would show up to her house, and there would be somebody in her home, and they would inject her and drug her and tie her up, beat her, do all this stuff. It happened to her 20 times. And she would move houses and they would call and eventually she got murdered. But this happened for so long. And this podcast 3 hours long and I'm listening to it and it's for the 20th time Miranda was found tied up in her room. How many, what are we doing? It was crazy. You got to listen to them. Kind of creepy.
We don't have to get into it. We can just look it up after you're done, listeners. But the weird Canadian murder situation of the I think it was Homolka, Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka, I think her name was. That's a very bizarre one. There's a lot of just weird torture and sex craziness. Yeah, it's a good
sex craziness, huh?
Yeah, it's a pretty good. Back, you just said Canada. That's what reminded me of it for sure.
The Ken and Barbie killers, huh? Yeah, I'm pretty. I think on my interior, I'm a middle-aged lady.
Really?
Yeah,
that's fair.
I like First 48. I like murder podcasts. Let's see. Chris wants to know. I'm sure it's already been asked. Why is Adam wearing a mask? Is he surrounded by people?
Well, I have to, and there's actually there's only one other person, but it's security who reminded me to make sure I wear it. It came close to me to do it, which always makes me laugh. But yeah, but it's required, so it's fine.
I just hear that you're a sheep.
That's true. Well, it's fine. I mean, if I'm going to be here, I have to do it.
I think Chris should do his duty and actually harass you.
That's fine. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind if you do. I do. I also think it's kind of ridiculous.
What was I supposed to say? What did Tucker tell me to say? Your mask is making me feel uncomfortable, sir.
So stupid. Yes, that is what you're supposed to do. For sure. Could you imagine if I was just in a room by myself and I'm wearing it?
You're right. Like me right now.
Yeah.
Just sitting at home and I'm vaccinated. Just I just don't want to take any chances, man.
We talked about it on radio today. I did say, there is going to be a lot of people, and I heard people talking about it this morning that, maybe it is something we should do, not for to be compliant, but people just weren't getting the cold and flu because of all the precautions we're taking, hand sanitizer and washing your hands more and, wearing a mask and staying apart from people. it does cut down on actual sickness.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe it's not the. Yes, it does.
It's like
Factually,
it's like a mosquito in a chain link fence. It
that's
doesn't
not
stop anything.
true. I mean, I feel like more talk about how SNL sucked. I mean, Elon Musk was a mess. But yeah, I mean, I think if it stops us from getting sick all the time, why not do it? I kind of like it. I mean, I don't like wearing it, but I like not being sick.
What's it called? Was Elon Musk the Titanic iceberg video my mom was showing me on Mother's Day? Was that the same SNL episode?
Maybe I didn't get to that part. What was the premise of the sketch?
What's the news bit that they do?
Oh, weekend update. Oh yeah. No, that was from a different episode, I think.
Okay, my mom showed me that on Mother's Day, and because I'm a good son on Mother's Day, I laughed, but it wasn't that funny.
Bo and Yang is very polarizing.
Oh, really?
I believe he's the one that played the iceberg.
I don't know any of them.
I think it was, yeah. I mean, I think Weekend Update is amazing pretty much every week. But yeah, that was kind of a miss. Yeah, Dogecoin tanked because Elon Musk basically it was a joke.
Let me leave this up.
But it's so dumb. People are it's just ridiculous. You can't really deny that it. I love that people are like, yeah, you say people had COVID because they had the flu and you just called it COVID. Like, no, people weren't getting the flu because they were doing these measures.
I got you.
COVID is just incredibly more.
It's what we call.
Admissible.
It's what we call a catch-22, Adam.
People are just so fucking stupid. But yeah, it would probably be helpful. But I mean, it's it's the trade-off. Do you want to be sick for a couple days every year, or do you want to wear a mask all the time? I'd say most people would probably just want to be sick. But we'll see how people go forward. Like there are parts of the world where people wear masks all the time because they just don't want to be sick ever.
Of course. Well, before this all started, you see people all the time in casinos wearing masks.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So we got 2 minutes here.
What do you got before you get out of here?
I don't really have anything. I was going to tell you we have to leave because I'm the last person standing here.
All right. Shortened edition. We've been on and off because of work duties, but we'll be back in the flow next Monday. Everybody. Appreciate it. Oh, what's this? Full-time sports PD. Yep. Apply to FAR.
That's right. Apply just to fire Ari.
Maybe I should do an internal transfer. Yeah, I should do that. All right, folks. Appreciate it as always. We'll be back next week. Adam, take it easy, buddy.